Now, you know, I do a lot of traveling and I tell a lot of stories. It's very rare that something I may have mentioned years ago that I actually would get to come back and revisit it. That probably sounds confusing to you, but what I mean is, in some of the true crime videos that I talk about, it may be similar to another case, or investigators may believe it's linked to another case in another part of the country. And so in my video, I mentioned that, but because it's in a different part of the country, I don't, you know, go elaborate a whole lot on it. Well, today is going to be a rare occasion because I made a video a while back about a missing teenage girl. And in that video, I specifically talked about a link to another missing teenage girl who lived away. It was actually Macon, Georgia. So while I'm here in Macon, I am going to take the opportunity to revisit that video I made in the past and kind of make this will be kind of like a part 2. Today I'm going to talk about the disappearance of Teresa Dean. Back in July of this year, 2020, I uploaded a video entitled "Who Killed Shannon Polk?" It was an Alabama missing persons case that, well, it happened in 2001, right before the World Trade Tower bombing, and no one has ever been arrested in the case. They did find her remains several miles away. That case is still under investigation to this day. They still don't know what happened, and I encourage anyone who may know anything about the disappearance of Shannon Polk to please come forward and help get the family some answers. Right in the middle of that video, I said this. But there were 2 other cases that were eerily similar to Shannon's disappearance. One in Northport, Alabama, and another in Tweed County, Georgia. Both of them, it was trailer parks, much like where I'm at right now. Both of them had construction going on in those trailer parks. All 3 of the girls that were taken were 11 years old. They were just very eerily similar, and the police believe that those 3 cases may be connected, that maybe it was a construction worker who was here that happened to just be working here in the area at the time, who may have committed the dastardly act and then moved on to another location. That Shannon Polk video is on my channel, and I'll link it here, and I'll link it at the end of the video as well if you want to go back and see it if you have not seen it yet. Now, if you looked at that, where I showed the 3 pictures of the cases they thought were similar, the case all the way on the left was Teresa Dean from Macon, Georgia. While I'm in Macon, I thought it would be interesting to revisit this story, but this time talk about Teresa's side of it. Teresa Dean went missing on August the 15th of 1999, so actually 2 years before Shannon Polk. Teresa would have actually been the first victim. Now, I do want to disclaimer that there's no proof that these cases are connected. They just are eerily similar. All 3 of the cases happened within just a couple of years of each other, but all 3 seem to have taken place under the exact same circumstances. All 3 girls were 11 years old. They were white. They all went missing during the month of August from trailer parks where they lived. So that led investigators to say that they could possibly be connected, but there's no proof of that. Now, Teresa Dean lived right here on Lawrence Drive, actually just down the road around that bend right there. Teresa was walking up the road right here, headed to a friend's house over here on Bowers Drive, when she just suddenly vanished. And no one has seen or heard from her since. What strikes me as being odd about this situation is that, as you can see, this area is very rural. There are a few homes, but the majority of it is just wooded areas. There's not a lot of people back here. There was also another theory that, okay, so when it happened, Teresa's mother she had a boyfriend. His name was Corylanders. He actually lived here in the trailer with Teresa and her mother. A year after Teresa's disappearance, Corylanders was indicted on 7 counts of child molestation involving 2 other children. He was also given a polygraph test in this case, asking if he had anything to do with the disappearance of Teresa, and he failed that polygraph test. Although he claims the test was administered improperly, it was still a failure. But the polygraph tests are not admissible in court. So they could not arrest him for Teresa's disappearance based on a polygraph test. It wouldn't hold up. But it wasn't long after that he pled guilty to those child molestation charges for the other case and was shipped off to prison. They have tried to backtrack to find if there was one or more particular people that were at all 3 locations, but to date they have not found that person who they just haven't found them. But a lot of times those construction jobs, they pay cash, sometimes even under the table, so they don't have to take taxes out and stuff. And some of the construction companies who they looked into could not provide records for every person they employed during those time periods. Shannon's remains were found about 7 weeks after her disappearance. Heaven, the girl who went missing from Northport, which is right by Tuscaloosa, Alabama, her remains were found right around Christmas time of 2006. Teresa Dean, her remains have never been found. Now, Teresa's case is obviously cold. For 21 years now, they have yet to be able to come up with an answer what happened to Teresa Dean. But Teresa's file still stays right on top of the desk at the Twigg County Sheriff's office, like on the actual sheriff's desk. That file sits right on top of his desk, and he keeps it there, and he frequently looks at it. To this day, they still get tips that somebody possibly saw her in Texas, someone possibly saw her in Washington. They get tips from all over the country. So far, those tips have not led anywhere. They have not produced any results, but it has not been forgotten. Teresa has not been forgotten, and the case will get solved one day. After being in the spot where it happened to Shannon, and now I've stood in the exact spot where it happened to Teresa, I guess I need to go to Northport here sometime soon and talk about heaven. Seems like the only other logical thing to do. Again, I'll link that Shannon Polk video in just a minute at the end of this video, so you can go back and watch it if you haven't seen it and you want to check it out, or if you want to, just refresh your memory about what happened. So if you have any information about what happened to Teresa Dean, Shannon Polk, or Heaven Ross, please, please, please call your local police department and let them know, so these families can get some answers please contact authorities if you know anything about either one of these 3 cases. That's going to do it for this episode today. I will keep you updated. I'll try to get to Northport here in the very, very near future to talk about Heaven Ross, the only one out of this case that I haven't talked about now. We'll try to get up there and we can complete this trifecta, I guess. Either way, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you're new here, go down, click that subscribe button, take it a step further, hit that notification bell. That way you get notified every time I upload a video. If you want to help support the channel, check out the links down in the description box below. My email address is also down there too if you need to email me about anything. Thank you all. I'll see you again tomorrow. Please stay safe and stay healthy. God bless all the families involved here.